Hey, Eastside. I was in a prayer gathering with some pastors this week, and we were reading from Ecclesiastes chapter 3. And it was the famous passage, a time for everything, a season for everything under the heavens. And I had to smile when we got to the part that it's a time to laugh and a time to dance, a time to scatter, a time to gather, and even in verse 5, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. And I thought of how much that applied to where we are today. I wanted just to give you some encouragement of some things that where we find ourselves. We're about a week in to this forced lockdown, this time of isolation, this time of social distancing. And I know for many of us, there's a lot of emotions happening in the day. And so I just wanted to offer two passages that come to mind today and for this season. The first comes from Mark chapter 4, where there's a storm and Jesus is with the disciples, and Jesus is found in the middle of the storm, but he's sleeping. And he gets up and he rebukes the wind and he rebukes the wave. And the disciples are questioning Jesus, says, why do you have such little faith during this time? And for some of us, we're in a season of storm, and this is a time of frightening. We're not sure what's going to happen with our work or our paychecks or our jobs. And so it certainly is a time of storm for many of us. And then for others of us, it's sort of a time of Sabbath, a time where we can rest. A time where this is almost sort of an odd season where we're getting extra time with our family, extra time at home. And it's these two seasons coming together. It made me think about that. And as we were going on one of our family walks, where it was just the six of us, my son Evan reminded me that, yes, Jesus was able to find peace even in the midst of the storm. But he also reminded me that Jesus heals even on the Sabbath. And so I just want to encourage us as a family that, whether you're in a season of storm and this feels like I'm not sure what's going to happen, or maybe you've had one of those moments where you've been at home alone with your kids for a week and you're ready for some interaction and you're not sure that you can do this for another week, let alone potentially 4 or 5. Jesus is with us in the storm and he can find rest, and you can too. I encourage you to make time for that. And for others of us, even though this does feel like a extra blessing of a time of Sabbath, I want to encourage you that Jesus also healed on the Sabbath, and to make time to hear from him, but also to look around and see what kind of needs you can participate with in your community, in your one, and other people who are around you. So I just want to encourage us, whether it's a season of storm or a season of Sabbath, Christ is with us in the midst of both. And so whether it's a time to embrace or a time to refrain from embracing, I'm just praying that God is close and encouraging you. We're in this together. I just want to encourage you to send pictures of yourself, post them on the Facebook page for Eastside. You get to see pictures of me and Matt and Rachel for the sermons, but we want to see pictures of you too. We miss seeing you, and I know you miss seeing other parts of your family. So I encourage you to post pictures of what you're doing on the East Side, tag Eastside in those so we can see what everyone's up to. So God bless, love you guys, miss you, looking forward to what God has for us in this season and for this season to be done.